This is not just a story. This is a reality that has remained hidden in plain sight. Asia, the birthplace of ancient civilizations, a land rich in natural resources, history, and human potential. Home to more than half of the world's population, it holds vast gold reserves, oil fields, strategic borders, and intellectual capital. And yet, it remains divided, it remains unstable, and it remains influenced, controlled, and manipulated, not by direct occupation, but by external interference and strategic pressure. While the world watches, the richest continent continues to face poverty, internal conflict, political instability, and economic dependency. Why? Because when a region is divided internally, it becomes easier for external powers to interfere, exploit, and dominate. For decades, the West, particularly the United States and its allies, has maintained influence across Asia, not through open warfare, but through proxy conflicts, economic pressure, regime change, and intelligence operations. They have contributed to and sometimes escalated regional tensions. Pakistan versus India, China versus Taiwan, Iran versus Arab states, North Korea versus South Korea, Azerbaijan versus Armenia, Russia versus Ukraine, the instability in Afghanistan and elsewhere. These are not isolated events. They are often carefully monitored, influenced, or used to serve global power interests. Through diplomacy, military alliances, trade dependency, and media narratives, the West continues to shape political outcomes, fuel divisions, and benefit from Asia's fragmented state. Governments have changed, and policies have shifted, but one pattern remains clear. When Asia is divided, others gain control. We are not here to deliver motivation. We are here to present facts, context, and perspective. This is the reality of our world, the part often left out of headlines and textbooks. This series will explore how the richest continent is still under the influence of foreign powers, and how those powers use political, economic, and psychological tools to maintain that control. This is not fiction. This is the present global structure, and understanding it is the first step toward clarity. Asia is the richest continent in the world. It has oil, gold, gas, fertile land, big rivers, smart people, and powerful cultures. It is the home of great empires, from China and India to Persia and the Arab world. But still, the West, America and Europe, rule Asia from the shadows. How did this happen? This chapter will show why Asia is rich, why the West fears a united Asia, how foolish leaders became tools of the West, how clever planning helped Europe and America stay in control. Section 1. The hidden wealth of Asia. Asia has everything a strong continent needs: food and water, oil and natural gas, Middle East, Iran, Central Asia, gold, copper, and minerals, China, India, Afghanistan. A large population, more than half of the world, lives in Asia. Talented workers, scientists, and businessmen, Asia has China, the second biggest economy in the world. India is growing fast. Japan and South Korea are leaders in technology. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are rich in oil. So why is Asia still under pressure from the West? Section 2. Divide and rule. The old Western trick. Long ago, British and French empires ruled much of Asia. Even after leaving, they left a big problem behind: division. The West does not want Asia to unite. Why? Because a united Asia would be stronger than Europe or America, able to control oil, trade, and technology independent of Western power. So they started a game, divide and rule. Section 3. Conflicts between Asian countries. Instead of helping Asia to unite, the West created and supported conflicts. Here are just a few. 1. India versus Pakistan. Fought many wars, 1947, 1965, 1971. Still fight over Kashmir. West sells weapons to both too. China versus India. Clashes on the border. Galwan Valley, competing for power in Asia. 4. North Korea versus South Korea. One communist, one democratic. Still technically at war, America supports South Korea. 5. Iran versus Arab countries, especially Saudi Arabia. Sunni versus Shia. Tension. U.S. supports Saudi Arabia. Iran often isolated. 6. Russia versus Ukraine. Though Ukraine is in Europe, this affects Asia too. Western-backed government replaced pro-Russia. One war started in 2022, still going on. 7. Azerbaijan versus Armenia. War over Nagorno-Karabakh. Turkey and Russia got involved. 8. Afghanistan. U.S. invaded in 2001, supported different governments. Left the country broken and poor. The reality: these wars make Asia weak, while the West earns money by selling weapons, managing peace talks, and controlling media. Section 4. The Foolish and the Wise. A powerful saying in this story: the foolish people always become slaves of the wise. Western powers use intelligence, strategy, and media. Asian leaders fight over religion, power, and ego. Instead of uniting, Asian countries look to America or Europe for help. They take loans, buy weapons, and allow foreign companies to take their resources. Section 5. Changing governments. Like a game, the West does not only influence war, it also chooses leaders. Examples: Iran, 1953. CIA removed Prime Minister Mossadegh. Afghanistan. Every government since the 1980s was influenced by outside powers. Pakistan. Many believe military and civilian governments are changed with Western approval. Ukraine, 2014. Pro-Russia president was removed and a pro-West government installed. Arab Spring, 2010 to 2013. Many leaders were removed in Tunisia, Egypt, Libya. These changes are not always for freedom. Many times they are for Western interests.
The Cold War in Asia, a silent battlefield. Introduction. What is a Cold War? A Cold War is not a war with guns and bombs. It is a war of minds, media, politics, technology, money. In a Cold War, countries fight for power without open battles. They use fake news, trade pressure, secret missions, propaganda, government influence. For many years, America and the West have played Cold Wars in Asia. The goal is simple: keep Asia weak, divided, and dependent. Section 1. Why the West needs Cold War in Asia. The West knows Asia is rich. Asia is strong when united. Asia has the power to replace the West, but if Asian countries keep fighting each other, they can never rise together. That is why the West creates problems, supports one side, and controls the result. This is called a Cold War strategy. Let's look at real examples. Section 2. Cold War between China and its neighbors. 1. China versus Taiwan. Taiwan says it is an independent country. China says Taiwan belongs to it. America sells weapons to Taiwan and sends ships near China's sea. China sees this as a threat. The goal: keep China focused on Taiwan, not on leading the world. 2. China versus India. Both are powerful Asian countries. They fight at the border.
Himalayas. The West supports India sometimes and criticizes China in media. This keeps two rising powers from becoming friends. Section 3. India and Pakistan, forever in conflict. India and Pakistan have same history, same people, same culture, but they fight over Kashmir since 1947. Every time they come close to peace, a terrorist attack happens. Media creates hate war drums beat again. Who wins from this? Not India, not Pakistan. Only the West, who sells weapons, gets influence, and plays both sides. Section 4. North Korea and South Korea. North Korea is closed and military-run. South Korea is free and modern. America supports South Korea with soldiers and weapons. China quietly supports North Korea. This is a perfect Cold War zone. Neither side wins. Both sides stay under outside influence. Section 5. Middle East. Oil, religion, and control. The Middle East is part of Asia. It has oil, holy lands, endless wars. Cold wars happen in these forms: Iran versus Saudi Arabia, Shia versus Sunni, Yemen, war proxy war between Iran and Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan, always unstable. Every time one country becomes strong, the West supports rebels, pushes sanctions, creates confusion through media. Section 6. Tools of the modern Cold War. How does the West fight cold wars without real war? 1. Media manipulation. News channels show only one side, social media spreads. Fake news, public opinion is controlled. 2. Economic pressure, sanctions against Iran, Russia, etc. Trade deals to control weaker economies. 3. Fake aid and loans. Money is given, but with secret demands. IMF and World Bank used as tools. 4. NGOs and cultural invasion. Many NGOs are helpful, but some spy or influence youth. Local traditions are slowly changed. 5. Cyber attacks and spy games. Cyber attacks are done secretly. Intelligence agencies influence politics quietly. Section 7. The real goal: control without colonies. In the past, the West used armies to control Asia. Now they use ideas, apps, dollars, Netflix, news, and influencers. This is modern colonization, not with chains, but with culture and fear. Control without a crown. In the past, kings ruled with crowns. Now control comes through influence, money, and media. Western countries, especially America and some parts of Europe, have learned how to control other countries without sending an army. They do this by supporting leaders who follow their plans, removing those who don't, using media and money to shape public opinion. This is not a conspiracy. This is history, repeated again and again across Asian nations. Section 1. The method: how regime change works. Changing a government without war is called regime change. It often happens in 4 steps. 1. Discredit the leader. Use media to show the leader as corrupt, cruel, or incompetent. Spread false stories or highlight real mistakes. 2. Support protests or opposition. Fund opposition groups through NGOs or foreign channels. Push people to demand change through social media. Influencers. 3. Offer foreign support to the new group. Promise aid, loans, or international recognition. Train new leaders abroad. 4. Push election or coup. Either force a new election under pressure or support a military or elite group to remove the current leader. This playbook has been used repeatedly in Asia. Section 2. Iran, the first great regime change. In 1951, Iran had a leader named Mohammad Mossadegh. He wanted to nationalize oil so Iranians could benefit, not British companies. In 1953, the CIA and MI6, American and British spy agencies, planned a coup called Operation Ajax. Mossadegh was removed. The Shah, king, was brought back, a leader who obeyed the West. This was one of the first modern examples of regime change by the West in Asia. Section 4. Afghanistan Puppet Regimes. One after another. Afghanistan has been ruled by King's Communists, Mujahideen, Taliban, American-supported presidents. In 2001, after September 11th, America invaded Afghanistan and removed the Taliban. They installed Hamid Karzai and later Ashraf Ghani. These leaders spoke fluent English, were educated in the West, followed Western strategies, but the Afghan people never truly accepted them. In 2021, as the West left, the Taliban returned without resistance. It showed governments made by outsiders don't last long. Section 5. Kyrgyzstan and Central Asia. In Central Asia, the West supported many color revolutions, peaceful-looking protests that led to government changes. Example: in Kyrgyzstan, protests in 2005, Tulip Revolution, and 2010 removed pro-Russian presidents. Western media and NGOs supported student movements. New leaders were more open to the West. Ukraine. Section 6. Ukraine, a European example with Asian impact. While Ukraine is in Europe, the impact reaches Asia. In 2014, the elected president Yanukovych was removed after mass protests. He was seen as pro-Russia. Western-backed groups supported the opposition. A pro-West government took over. Later in 2022, Russia invaded. The conflict divided the world and affected energy, politics, and alliances in Asia deeply. Section 7. Media, the modern weapon. Today, media is the most powerful tool to remove or control governments. If a leader is not useful to the West, negative stories spread fast. Protests become global headlines. People are shown what the West wants them to see. Even elections can be influenced. Support is given to friendly candidates. Fake news is spread against enemies. This is called soft power, the ability to control minds, not just armies. Section 8. Who gains from these changes? The West gains control over decisions, trade, and resources. Friendly governments sign deals that help Western companies. Asian people lose stability and never build their own systems. A puppet may smile and speak well, but it moves with someone else's strings. The conflicts within. Why Asia keeps fighting itself. Introduction. The enemy inside. Asia is a continent full of power, history, and knowledge. But it is also full of fights, hate, and mistrust. The sad truth is, many of Asia's problems come from within. Countries argue over religion, borders, language. History, pride. These conflicts weaken Asia from the inside, and every time there is division, the West becomes stronger, not with war, but by simply watching Asia destroy itself. Section 1. India versus Pakistan. One people, two countries. In 1947, India and Pakistan were divided by the British. The reason: religion, Hindus and Muslims. But both nations still share the same. Food, language, music, family roots. So why are they always fighting? Because Kashmir is a never-ending issue. Leaders use hate to win elections. The military earns money and power through conflict. Every time they get close to peace, something bad happens. A bomb blast, a terrorist attack, a media war. Who benefits? Not India, not Pakistan. The West, who sells weapons, controls politics, and keeps them apart. Section 2, India versus China. Two giants, one border. India and China are two of the largest and oldest civilizations. They could work together. But instead, they argue over border areas like Doklam, Galwan Valley, compete in Asia and global trade, distrust each other in military and tech. This makes them spend billions on weapons instead of helping their people. A united India and China could lead Asia, but pride and mistrust keep them apart. Section 3. China versus Taiwan, one nation or two. China says Taiwan is part of its land. It must return one day, by peace or force. Taiwan says we are independent. We have our own elections, army, and government. America supports Taiwan, not for love, but to keep China busy. So instead of focusing on growth, China has to spend on defense. Watch for attacks. Prepare for war. Taiwan lives in fear. China lives in pressure. Who wins? The West, who created the division and controls the tension. Section 4. Iran versus Arab countries. Divided by faith, Iran and Arab countries, especially Saudi Arabia, fight not with armies, but with ideology. Iran is mostly Shia Muslim Saudi Arabia, and others are mostly Sunni Muslim. They fight for power in the Islamic world, influence in countries like Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. Muslims are 2 billion people worldwide, but because of this split, they are divided, weak, and often fighting themselves. The West uses this division by selling weapons to both controlling oil prices, using religion as a political tool. Section 5. North Korea versus South Korea. A cold family war. North Korea is isolated, with a powerful army and a strict government. South Korea is modern, rich, and works closely with America. The Korean War ended in 1953, but the two sides never signed peace. Now, families are separated for 70 years. Both sides prepare for war daily. North Korea is under sanctions. South Korea hosts American soldiers. One Korea could be a global superpower, but fear and foreign interests keep them apart. Section 6. Conflicts within countries. It's not just country versus country. Many Asian countries also face internal conflicts. India, Hindu versus Muslim violence. Caste problems, Northeast separatist movements. Kashmir unrest. Pakistan, Shia versus Sunni. Tensions, tribal conflicts, Balochistan insurgency. Myanmar, Rohingya Muslims driven out, ethnic civil wars for decades. Afghanistan, tribal rule. Taliban versus government, ethnic groups fight for control. These internal divisions make it easy for outsiders to enter and control from behind the scenes. Section 7. Why does Asia keep fighting? 1. Pride and ego. Leaders care more about their image than peace. 2. Lack of education. People are easily fooled by religion or politics. 3. Foreign influence, outsiders fund, hate, and support division. 4th, colonial history, borders were made by the British, not by the people. Many conflicts started when the West cut land like cake. 5. No unity plan. Asia has no common army, currency, or vision. Europe united as the EU. Asia has not. Section 8. How to end the fighting. If Asia wants peace and power, it must educate its people with truth, not propaganda, build media that promotes unity, make trade and cultural partnerships, stop listening to outside powers, create regional peace systems, respect differences but protect unity greater than the wise rule by peace. The foolish destroy with pride.
A united Asia, is it still possible? Introduction. One continent, one dream. Asia is the biggest and richest continent in the world. It has the most people, the oldest civilizations, the strongest cultures, and unlimited natural resources, but it is not united. It is divided by history, controlled by outsiders, and weakened by internal conflict. Still, there is hope. This chapter is about how Asia can become strong again, not by war, but by wisdom, unity, and courage. Section 1. What if Asia unites? Imagine a world where India and Pakistan work together on trade and education. China and Japan invest in peace, not weapons. Iran and Saudi Arabia focus on helping Muslims, not hating each other. Korea becomes one strong country again. Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, and Myanmar finally find peace. If that happens, Asia will control global trade. Asian currencies will be stronger than the dollar. Asian people will live with dignity, not fear. No outsider will dare to play games again. Section 2. United States of Asia, a dream? Like Europe has the European Union, Asia can build something similar. A shared market with no border taxes, a shared defense system to protect from external threats, a shared digital network to protect Asian data, a peace council to resolve internal disputes, student and worker exchanges to build understanding. Is it a dream? Yes, but every great change starts with a dream. Section 3. Real examples of unity. Already happening. Even in today's divided Asia, there are examples of unity. ASEAN, Southeast Asia's alliance countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam work together in trade and peace. They focus on stability and economic growth, not war. SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, includes China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and Central Asia, works on security and regional issues. BRI, Belt and Road. Initiative China's project connecting roads, railways, and ports across Asia increases economic cooperation. These are early steps, but they show that unity is possible. Section 4. Obstacles that still exist. To unite, Asia must face some big problems. Old hatred wars and betrayals from the past still hurt people today. Forgiveness is hard, but necessary. Religious and ethnic divisions. Asia is home to all major religions. Leaders must teach respect, not hate. Western influence. The West does not want a united Asia. They use media, money, and politics to keep Asia weak. Selfish leadership. Some leaders care only about power. They fear unity because it may reduce their control. Section 5. What can we do? You might ask, I'm just one person. What can I do to unite Asia? Here's the answer. 1. Learn the truth. Don't believe everything on the news. Read about history, not just from your country's books. Know how the West has influenced Asia too. Respect. Other cultures don't hate people for being different. Visit or talk to people from other Asian countries. See how much we actually share. 3. Support. Peace. Use your voice for unity on social media. Avoid spreading hate or fake news. Celebrate Asian success stories. 4. Educate the next generation. Teach your children and students to value peace. Inspire them to think beyond borders. Change begins not with a government, but with a mind. Section 6. The youth are the key. Asia has the youngest population in the world. This is a superpower, if used wisely. If young people stop fighting old wars, start building new bridges, demand peace from leaders, then the future will be different. Let the new generation make businesses that connect Asia.
Create films, music, and books that show unity. Become leaders who choose peace, not pride. Section 7. A final message. The West ruled Asia once, with guns and armies. Now they rule with ideas and media. But the power is returning to Asia. It will not come by copying the West. It will come by remembering who we are. The land of Buddha, Confucius, Rumi, and Gandhi. The birthplace of algebra, surgery, and paper. The home of family, respect, and tradition.